Tragic news this Friday, the 16th of September. A Sydney bus driver has been hailed in the wake of yesterday's terrifying bus fire on the Harbour Bridge. As his vehicle was engulfed by flames, Thomas Parker's Grace Under Pressure saw him help every single passenger since Wednesday has been found near Hamilton by police. The tragic discovery comes as the town of Charlton remains on flood alert, with the Avoca River to peak tonight.
Charlton and right throughout the district is a very strong community, and we're very confident that with equally strong support and coordination between our agencies, Charlton and surrounding communities will get through this.
And Apple superfans who camped out for up to 2 days to be the first in line for the news this morning have been left disappointed. The most popular models, the iPhone 7 Plus and the jet black iPhone 7, were sold out before the doors even opened.
The first person in line can't get one. It's ridiculous. We have a tent, we have our supplies, we have everything. All wasted.
Hang on. I don't understand that you camp out. What happens when you're the first in the store and they're all gone?
Well, so these people with iPhones apparently haven't heard of the internet. So that's the
I
problem.
think you've got to admire that guy's commitment. He's got the Russian hat and the camping chair.
Oh, it just cracks me.
Should have come through that.
What? No,
You want commitment?
Yeah.
You want?
Yeah.
I'll give you commitment. There are a lot of disappointed people today, but I have managed to find my favourite disappointed person. He lined up for 2 days in a tent in Sydney.
As you heard or you've not heard, the 7 Plus and the Jet Blacks are sold out. Therefore, making my wait somewhat not as... Yeah, that's the word. Redundant.
He would have asked Siri what the word is, but of course he didn't have his phone, so he called it in to ask a friend.
Well, a couple of fascinating stories emerged from Canberra overnight, and I don't mean fascinating in the fascinating politics way. I mean fascinating in real life.
Have you ever had the urge to quit your furious blaze of glory?
Right, everybody listen, I would like to tell you all that I'm resigning, Peter. It's been dreadful. I hope your falls off. You all up, man. Ta-ta! Bye-bye!
Well, last night, Labor's Deputy Senate Leader Stephen Conroy burned all his bridges in this spectacular flame-out.
As it is very late, I would, with leave, table the rest of my contribution so we can move on.
Wow. Check the instant replay.
Table the rest of my contributions.
That contribution he tabled was the text of a resignation speech, which Conroy didn't deliver. Even Conroy's acting boss was taken by surprise.
Leading, did you say, or leaving? Leaving.
Stephen Conroy's just resigned.
Normally when politicians retire, they give a speech, they thank everyone and list their achievements, but Conroy didn't do that. He just sort of put it on the record without actually talking to it. It kind of suggests that he sort of wants to leave in a hurry, want to focus too much on his time in politics.
Meanwhile, on the other side of politics, the LNP's George Christensen, who recently forced the PM to back down on superannuation, wants to change his party's immigration policy. Even Pauline Hanson's policy isn't tough enough for George.
We should consider some tighter controls on borders, such as restricting immigration from countries where there is a high prevalence of violent extremism and radicalism.
Yep, he wants to keep out extremists and folks who live near many extremists, which arguably includes Australians.
Malcolm Turnbull probably won't go after Christensen for his comments in the way that he'd like, because if he did, the Conservatives would withdraw their support for him as Prime Minister.
Even George's boss was taken by surprise.
Tagging all Muslims with the crimes of a few is fundamentally wrong, also counterproductive.
So have the country's leaders lost control of their troops?
News Corp's national political editor Sam Maiden joins us now. Sam, George Christensen forced Turnbull's hand on super. Now he's trying to set the coalition's immigration agenda. Has Turnbull brought this on himself, though, by throwing the right too many bones?
Well, it does seem sometimes a bit like the scene from Jaws, where if you've thrown up sort of bloody fish in the water, sooner or later, you know, a big shark is going to come. You know, I don't know if the Prime Minister's going to have to throw the lecture table in George Christensen's mouth. Hopefully not. But I think that the Prime Minister has made some concessions, and at some point he is going to have to tell to back off.
The leadership.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were mid-sentence there for a moment. I'm just interested in this Stephen Conroy situation. Now, this was bizarre. I've never seen a resignation that was like a tree falling in the forest when no one was there, as though no one had read it. Does it still count as a speech when it's not spoken?
Well, I think that he was cheeky there. I mean, he was basically trying to do the strut that he knew Senate procedure better than anyone else. He's always been a bit of a weird unit, Stephen Conroy. He's decided to be a bit of a weird unit on the way out. He loved the fact that he thought he'd pulled one over us all and we didn't know what was going on. The only problem was that Tanya Plibersek didn't know what was going on either, and had to have Matt Thistlethwaite, in one of the greatest of sort of media management of all time, sort of whisper in her ear, sotto voce, during the press conference, he's resigned.
Sam, we've just had an election. Why is he resigning now and not a couple of months ago?
Well, look, I think that's a good point. I don't really buy the idea that he was committed to 6 years, you know, during the campaign and then woke up yesterday and decided to quit. It is a bit cheeky the way political parties do this. He has just been elected for a 6-year term. That is then going to get handed out like, you know, factional warlords to some bloke in Victoria who's presumably, you know, sucked up to the right people. It's not necessarily going to go to someone that it should, which is someone who can make a real contribution to the Labor Party and be real front bench material. You know, if they just put another person in there who's basically sort of done the time in the unions and isn't going to make a big contribution, I think that's bad. I think Stephen Conroy, if he wanted to resign, should have told voters that he was going to do that before the election.
Now, Sam, MP Andrew Lee uploaded this onto his YouTube channel. Can you please explain?
I don't want to explain.
This is, I don't care how much parliamentary privilege you've got, this should not be allowed.
That is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Terry Butler, I like Terry Butler, but what's she doing on a recorder? That's just ridiculous. I mean, get off the flute. It was terrible.
Was it an oboe? Maybe?
Oboe.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They should get a cello involved, at least, you know, lift tone a bit.
I think there's something when you're singing a rock song around a music stand.
Yeah.
None of that was right. There was nothing.
It was very year two.
It is very flattering. Thanks so much, Sam. Great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Now, guys, I'm being told our social media has been flooded with requests about man-queuing intent for iPhones. Well, I've got good news.
Hold up. Yep. I reckon it is going to have problems. I reckon the 7 Plus is going to... I reckon those 2 dual cameras are just going to, you know, just go bang.
We love that guy. Can someone please get him an iPhone 7 if he doesn't already?
That guy's genius.
He has earned it.
Yes, and if he's watching, I would like fries with that.